But we're going to move on to the next subject. We got to talk about Starbucks and layoffs. Yes, layoffs coming up right now.
On major job cuts at Starbucks. A new state filing on Thursday outlines more than 200 corporate layoffs coming to the coffee giant SoDo headquarters. Fox 13's Jennifer Dowling reports.
I talked to a professor of economics at Seattle University. He said there are two groups of employees involved in this layoff. He said they are IT employees who did not want to relocate to offices in Nashville, and also people who are involved with store design.
We have art installers that are also artists.
At Apex Art Lab, they specialize in selling handmade and local art and art sourcing.
We also have some really gnarly film props that we have framed up.
The studio is a vibrant place to shop for art and creative items near Starbucks headquarters in SoDo.
Foot traffic is really important here on First.
She says the folks who work in this neighborhood are some of their most important clients.
Starbucks is one of our clients, just a lot of walk-in customers too.
As far as the announced layoffs at the Starbucks headquarters next door, Joseph Phillips, professor of economics at Seattle University, explained that two groups of employees would be impacted and had some information early this year that this would happen.
We knew that Starbucks was going to move their IT to Nashville and that those employees would be offered the opportunity to go to Nashville, and some of them would decide they didn't want to do that. And so we are finding out that 120 of their employees do not want to go to Nashville.
He says there was also a prior announcement about layoffs for those that work on store design, but now we are getting more details.
There was a prior announcement about this group of employees earlier this year, and then we didn't expect that to happen all at once and right away. And so now we're finding out that when it's happening, and the announcement is coming out today.
Nick Huntington-Klein says the tech job losses nationwide are being especially felt in tech-centric cities like Seattle.
10% of their Seattle corporate workforce, a lot of them in the support center. And this is in addition to some of the other rounds of layoffs that we've already seen with Starbucks. So we've seen quite a few Starbucks jobs leaving Seattle, and these are largely high-paying, high-quality jobs.
Employees at Apex say whatever happens in this business climate, it's important to come out to support local businesses, and they'll be here for the long haul.
Apex Art Lab is here to stay for sure, so come support us.
When Starbucks announced its new corporate office in Nashville, it said that office would be working closely with the headquarters here in Seattle, saying that the company was, quote, very much committed to its home base. We reached out to Starbucks for new comment tonight and are waiting to hear back. Reporting from Seattle, Jennifer Dowling, Fox 13 News.
All right, so we know the who, we know the what, we know the when, we know the where, we got to know the why. So we know who was affected. We know what positions are getting eliminated, and we know where the job impact functions will be shifted to consolidated, and when do official separations take effect. The why were 120 Seattle-based employees laid off after declined mandatory relocation offerings to Nashville, new Nashville offices. That's why I was saying they was open up a new corporate office here in the South, and it gets better aligned with the headquarters back in Seattle. So let me do a little bit digging on this. Let me do some deep diving on this. All right. Let's see. Because I heard about it, but this is the first time really diving into it. Seattle Starbucks layoff. Because it's not the first time that Starbucks have laid off. Okay, so it says, here's a little snippet here. So there's 224 corporate jobs affected. Starbucks has filed a warn notice, including both those who declined relocation offers to its new Nashville office and roles eliminated as part of a May 2026 corporate restructuring. That's what I'm thinking. That's from the first time I heard about it. Who was affected? 120 employees, but those 120 employees chose not to relocate. 104 employees, part of May restructuring, covering functions such as coffee house design, site selection and construction, real estate and portfolio management, the technology roles, IT, system analysis, software development, Q&A, technical product management, engineering, decision science. What the hell is decision science? Communications, administrative support, and multiple managerial and senior leadership positions, including 2 vice presidents. The layoffs affect workers at or reporting at Starbucks Support Center headquarters, but all are not based in the Washington state. So the timeline they have here is that they mentioned in this report I'm reading now is the first round of separations are going to take place October 19th. So that's a little over a month and a half away. All separations will be finalized by November 1st. So that's 2.5, 3 months away. So the context and the strategy behind this, the cuts are not a new round of restructuring, but the final phase of back to Starbucks strategy, because I think it was all about them going back to working from, I don't know, I know corporate was like the return to work policy. But let me finish reading. I'm sorry. Back to Starbucks strategy launched by CEO Brian Nico in September 2024. The May 2026 announcement eliminated about 300 U.S. support roles and $400 million in charges, including $280 million in non-cash assets write-downs and $120 million in cash separation benefits. Starbucks is streamlining its real estate portfolio, closing or consolidating regional support offices, Atlanta, Dallas, Chicago, and Burbank, and shifting some corporate functions to Nashville. The Nashville investment is $100 million, expected to house 2,000 jobs over the next 5 years, focus on South and East growth supply chain technology. So that means there's an opportunity that you might see another maybe East Coast hub in the near future. That's just what I'm reading into this a little bit. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Or let me finish up. The economic impact. The layoffs are significant for Seattle's corporate sector, as many of the affected roles are high-paying, high-quality jobs. Critics note that the shift of IT and corporate functions to see Nashville as a notable redistribution of corporate away from the city, corporate employment away from the city. Bottom line, here's the bottom line. 224 jobs are gone, right, at Seattle HQ as part of a broader corporate consolidation, relocation plan, and not new wave of cuts, and are expected to be completed by late November 2026 of this year. Ooh, thank you. So what I was about to say is, I'm sorry, the Nashville location mean they might be opening up more chains on this side of the country, which again brings on more jobs, brings on more opportunities and growth opportunities, whatnot. And I know people get mad. I know it's, oh my God, because layoffs happen, layoffs take place. But the people, if I had to say, I think a lot of people, there may be a lot of the talent may be homegrown. They might went to college and their dream job was work at, maybe, I'm not saying maybe Seattle, maybe not working for Starbucks. I don't know, maybe working for Starbucks was their dream job, but they was a big fan of Starbucks. I know I'm probably rambling here. Okay. Most of these people probably didn't foresee their jobs moving. And I think a lot of us be like that. A lot of us can just we be where our feet at. We call it home, whether it be Atlanta, whether it be Dallas, whether it be Chicago, whether it be all those places I named, or Seattle, right? So a lot of these places probably didn't think that. And you got to think also too, when COVID hit and stuff like that, so all the realignment, that's probably part of that as well. And a lot of people probably didn't foresee themselves leaving. So this is home. So a lot of these employees is home. Seattle's home is where they probably eat, work, and play. And so not everybody just can't just get up and go. Family situations, kids may be too small. Not that you can't move your kids across country and whatnot, but they may have their parents there. They may be elderly and it may be hard to move around. So there's a number of factors. So I'm not going to kill them for that. I'm not going to kill them for that. But business is business, and this was going to happen regardless, right? But people are getting paid. You're getting a separation notice. You're getting severance and whatnot. But for the ones that's making the journey to Nashville, good luck. Congratulations, because it's a big step moving. And maybe someone probably had prior business and prior footprint in the South or in Nashville before. So this is a great opportunity either way for Starbucks. It's a new frontier. The business is changing, and this is not a plug, but I don't really do Starbucks. I'm not a coffee drinker. I get like a sandwich or something like that if I'm working out, if it's like a Saturday or Sunday, but that's a sidebar. But this is it for most of us, for those employees that didn't leave, that decide not to leave us. It's the end of an era is coming. But I think take the experience, take the knowledge, take the experience. Maybe some of them, who knows? Some of these employees, maybe not all of them, they may possibly, maybe reapply for their jobs later. Some people can't make the move right now. Some probably made the move. Some probably made the move started in May. They probably was like, hey, okay, let me go ahead and they give me opportunity to apply for a new position or move my position to Nashville. Hey, I know they probably went to they probably went through the initial moan and groan relocation, but they came to their senses and say, hey, you know what? I like this company. I like what they're doing. Let me continue my career here. Others was like, let me get a little more time. Others was like, hey, I'm not moving. I'm just going to just ride this out until it's time to go. Which is not a problem, which is not an issue, which is not a problem. So I get the art person that's there. Either which way, Starbucks being in Nashville, having a headquarters in Nashville, yes, it's going to bring a lot of traffic, bring a lot of business, and you still gonna have employees there at the Seattle headquarters anyway. Maybe have 224 less than what you would have, but you will still have employees there. You still have a footprint there. They're not gonna go nowhere. It's really gonna take a lot to get Seattle to the Starbucks to really officially say, hey, you know what, we're gonna move, and that may be the plan in the future. Maybe a plan in the future to make Nashville the official home of Starbucks. Be a big change. Okay, I hope I added value in that conversation. I want to, because layoffs are important. Layoffs happen, and these things come with an array of emotions and mixed reactions and stuff like that. But you just ride it as long as you can, but you got to make the best decision for you and your family. Make the best decision for you and your family. And if some of them decide to join Starbucks again in the future, I don't see why not. If not, if you just say, hey, this is it, you go look for something else, cool. Just take the experience, what you have, and go look for a new gig, which I'm pretty sure somebody be happily to take your services. They see you work for Starbucks, they see what you was doing, they see the kind of high-end work you was doing, like, oh, okay, hey, yeah, there you go. All right. So let me know what y'all think about that. The Starbucks layoff headquarters is a good thing, bad thing, or indifferent. All right, we're gonna move on.